And here we go, motherfuckers. Back for the first time in 2019, Lost in the Dark. Here we fucking go. All right. So I do have something I want to start with. You're getting married this year.
Prove it.
Mein Freund. Prove it? You're the one that sent out the fucking invitation, bro.
I didn't send those out. I didn't see those until after everyone else did.
Oh, well, that's usually how that goes.
That's how it goes. I heard the colors are going to be navy and something else.
Black?
Yeah, maybe black. Navy, black, and gold.
It's like blue and black.
Blue, black, and gold.
I'll just be in all black. I'll be fine.
No. No, we have clothes for you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're going to need to go get fitted.
Oh, boy.
Not now, because I expect that you're probably going to gain weight.
Gain weight? Why?
I mean, maybe lose some weight?
Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight.
Either way. Let's wait until we're a little closer.
Well, yeah.
We're
still real far away.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I want to talk to you about the location you picked, though. Because I love this. Where are we going?
Mackinac Island.
Mackinac Island.
Specifically Mission Point on Mackinac Island.
Now, here's the thing that's been throwing me, though. And that's gorgeous. I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But when I said...
Is it the horse shit?
No. What?
No, the horse.
Horses are fine. They're fine.
It's
not a big deal.
The entire island.
We can deal with it.
Smells like horse shit.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
That's what I've been thinking about for the past, since the engagement.
Oh, boy. Horse shit?
Horse shit.
You were thinking about... That's not good, bro.
No. And navy.
Remember, this is going to get posted.
Navy. I know that.
Okay.
Maybe 5 more seconds of silence.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking... No, yeah, but your Mission Point. What made you pick that?
We talked about a lot of different setups for the wedding, and eventually we rested on the one choice that I get in this process, which is I love Mackinac Island.
Mm-hmm.
And every year, both me and her end up going up to Mackinac Island and the Upper Peninsula and up to Munising and Marquette. And Marquette is way too far to go have a wedding at, because that's just an 8-hour drive.
That's very far.
If you have to stop, have lunch,
go to Niagara Falls at that point.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Jump off.
Or Tequamanon, that'd be cool.
At Tequamanon, we make frequent stops at. It's one of the most beautiful destinations in Michigan.
It is.
But Mackinac Island is one of my favorites. We both have fond memories there. And honestly, the major deciding factor in it was the price point. For a small wedding on Mackinac Island at Mission Point was actually one of the cheapest, or most cost-effective, I should say, venues that we were able to find.
This is mind-boggling to me. And this has been boggling my mind. Because I remember you telling me that. And I'm like, how the fuck is a destination wedding at Mackinac Island cheaper than, like, a fucking standard wedding right here in Lansing? I don't get it.
It's because over the summer, on the weekends, Mackinac Island literally turns into just a wedding factory. So on the day that we actually go up there, we are going to be one of several wedding parties that are just going to literally be in line. Your time is right now.
Okay.
We're going to go on at 3. At 3:10, you say I do. And if you haven't said it by then, guess what?
You're out.
You don't.
You don't. I don't.
So a lot of it's set up that way. And what that allows them to do is for large parties, they make a huge amount of money on, just like any wedding. because the entire wedding industry in the U.S. and in most of the world, I believe,
Probably.
is
Big business.
is huge business. But what that allows them to do is these smaller wedding parties, the larger weddings don't need that room. There's no reason for a 30, 40 person, a room that can only seat 30 or 40 people to ever be used for an average sized wedding. But for what we were looking for and for what we wanted, that was perfect. And with all of that combined, their costs on those rooms, they're literally just trying to get them booked out because they have no other groups that will come in to use them. And that's where the small wedding party packages come into play. And you can save a lot of money by going to Mackinac, specifically at Mission Point Hotel on Mackinac Island.
But why are their price points so much smaller?
Because of all of those things. If you
Yeah.
you had a small room that in peak wedding season, when most people are doing 100 to 200 to 300 or 400 people weddings, your large banquet facilities are all going to be booked out. But what do you do with your small rooms?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So why not fill those for a small amount of money, because you already made the money that you need, but you haven't made your capacity.
Yeah.
So you're filling it out.
I can see that. Makes sense. From a business perspective, I could see that those are some of the reasons why it might be cheaper than other places.
Or maybe it's the horse shit
Maybe it's the horse ship.
discounts.
Or maybe it's something else entirely.
Is it haunted?
It's haunted as fuck, Jordan.
Everything.
Oh my god.
Everything on Mackinac Island has
Jordan-
the potential of being haunted.
Jordan hates haunted things.
Not really hates. I don't do haunted things.
You have in the past expressed to me that you prefer to keep what you call a respectful distance.
Yeah. I'm not afraid. I respect the fact that if the undead and ghosts exist, which they might, who knows, I have no proof to or otherwise, that's not for me to say. The moral of the story is I have a healthy respect for whatever that may be, whatever those phenomenons may be caused by, and I don't want to fuck with it.
Okay. Well, you're going into the lion's den with this one, buddy.
No, we'll be fine. I've been on Mackinac Island many a time.
True.
Broad daylight, middle of the summer, fall.
Well, did you know that at one point Mission Point was a school?
No.
It was like a college.
I tried to say yeah.
It was like
for what?
it was fuck.
How many people went to college on Mackinac Island?
Some people, bro. They exist. It's a real thing. Hold on one second. I should have had this pulled up already. I'm sorry. Mission Point, Mackinac Island. Here we go. There we go. Dun dun dun.
No.
Oh
no,
yeah, definitely.
That's not how the
That's how
song
it goes. Well, it. What does that even mean? Prehistory of Mackinac Island. Oh come on.
Oh, prehistoric Mackinac Island?
No. Yeah, at one point it was European development beginning with French Jesuit missionaries landing at the point in 1634, less than 2 decades after the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock.
So you're going.
That's not even real, though.
You're going back to
No,
before
no.
the
That
forts were built.
no. That was the first thing that was there. That's just I'm on Wikipedia. That was just the first thing that was done at Mission Point.
Well, have you donated
Since that time,
to Wikipedia? Because they need your help.
I know. Development at Mission Point has included a mission house, summer house, several summer Victorian cottages, conference center, for international groups, theater, film studio, college campus, and vacation resort. So yeah, it doesn't say when, but at one point it was a college campus.
I can easily see it being a college campus, the way that it's set up. But probably not in the way that we're thinking about it.
No, not like
No.
MSU or something.
No.
But anyway, at some point in its history, it was a fucking college. And not too far back either. Like, I think in the past, 100 years or so. Maybe 200 top. Well, yeah, obviously 200 tops. But fucking, I think in the past 100 years or so, it was a fucking college at one point. And at some point, apparently, a kid, Henry, I think. There's no proof of the name, but people refer to it as Henry. And he made a very public proposal to a woman who denied him. So he runs off into the woods. And his body is found 6 months later. Ruled a suicide. Officially ruled a suicide. But
Good.
the gun was never found.
Yep.
And he was found with 2 bullet wounds.
In the back of the head?
I don't know where.
Like,
I haven't found anything that says where.
like the guy that pissed off Hillary Clinton?
Jesus Christ. No, I don't know, but that I know who you're talking about, but I in terms of Henry,
That's how most suicides are done.
with 2 bullet holes in the back of the head,
2
no gun found.
100%.
Okay, yeah,
Look
that
up
sounds
the
like a
s-
suicide.
Look up the stats.
But that's the point, is that Henry's death was officially ruled a suicide, but a lot of people think it may have been murder.
Well,
So
I mean, what did he do with the gun after he shot himself? Most dead people hide the gun.
I mean, he was out there for 6 months. Someone
Yeah.
could have found the gun and ran off with it. But that means they would have also had to have found
Him.
a body and not said anything to anyone.
Oh, that's a nice gun. And what's that next to it? Well, that's Henry.
Whose hand is it in?
Guys, I found Henry.
No. But, so anyway, they say that the ghost of Henry haunts Mission Point, and he does things like, he's a college kid, so mischievous kind of shit, like move furniture around in a room, objects in your room will be found, lost and then found in a place you didn't put it later, stuff like that. So
A lot of
keep
that can
this
be
in mind.
explained simply by the people that stay on Mackinac Island tend to drink a lot since there's no cars.
I'm going to be keeping this in mind, and
So,
B, if you see me walking around the hallways of the hotel late at night with a bunch of equipment, just don't mind me.
yeah.
I might be doing a podcast.
So I think we may have changed the date.
Wedding podcast.
Yeah. Just so you know,
The wedding special.
we're showing up on the 31st.
Of what?
September.
Oh, it'd been cooler if it was October.
You still don't know how many days are in September.
No,
Same as November.
30.
Yep.
I knew there weren't 31 days in September.
Oh,
There's
you
no
don't-
September 31st.
You don't know how many days are in November.
Yes, I do. I do. Nobody else does.
No
That's
one in the
point.
world.
That's the point.
Everyone knows
Alright, I'm not
February, and
gonna-
that's about it.
I don't want to explain that whole thing. But anyway, I just wanted to fucking tell you. You know what? Maybe I will. So my birthday is November 30th, 1989.
Or the day after, on the
And
31st.
and ever since I've known Jordan, he's told everyone that my birthday is on November 31st. And everyone always believes him. Every time, no matter what.
It's a common error.
People are not aware that there is no November 31st.
There are only a few months of the year that anyone
You know,
actually accepts that there's a certain number of days. December has
Yeah,
31.
because
October.
because it's a holiday.
Has
'Cause,
31.
again, it's a holiday.
Yep. Name another.
No other holidays fall on the last day of the month. So,
That- Those are it. And those are the only days that just offhand, right off the bat, within 1 second, anyone can respond, oh yeah, that has 31 days. So if you just say, especially the Burrs,
the Burrs?
yeah, September, November.
Oh, okay.
If you
Yeah,
say
like, that's
September,
what I was gonna
October,
say.
November, December,
It kind of rolls off the tongue.
they all have 31 days. September
just-
31st.
Yeah. It sounds right.
Yeah.
So people go with it.
Hey, are we doing anything for Burton's birthday?
On November 31st.
November 31st.
Mark
Yeah,
it on your calendar.
put it down. Yeah, I'll see you there.
See you there.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. Yes. Anyway, okay, so I forgot I want to explain that joke. But, because it's funny, and it's true. It's been happening forever, but it's awesome. Fuck. So, yeah, I just wanted to fucking tell you that your wedding venue might have been cheaper because of all the ghosts.
That's a possibility. I'm gonna take my
I mean, I was surprised. It sounds almost too good to be true. This idea of a destination wedding on Mackinac Island sounds beautiful.
I'm gonna take my mini economics amateur economics lesson as the actual answer, that it's probably just them trying to fill up some of their cheaper rooms for a cheap price.
I mean, really think about this for a minute, though. Like, they are offering an experience you cannot get anywhere else in the United States.
Or
Like,
there's someone that owns this entire thing who's organizing the prices that says,
oh, I'm not.
hey, you know how we're haunted?
No, that's not where I was going with that.
And there's this guy that moves shit around. you
Doesn't
know,
really do anything else.
you know, Henry,
Henry.
the guy whose gun we found that one time. Yeah.
They're the ones that found the gun.
We can't charge people that much to come here because every time they show up, Henry comes out and starts fucking with all their shit. Let's discount it and no one will know.
That's not even where I was going with that.
And even if they find out, what are they going to do?
No.
It was pretty cheap.
It was Henry. That's not where I was going, though. Where I was going with that was I mean, like, for anybody out there that doesn't know, there was a law made on Mackinac Island in the early 1900s that has never changed. To this day, there has never been a motor vehicle, like, on the island. Like, technically, is there an emergency vehicle on the island or something?
There's multiple emergency vehicles on the island.
Okay. But outside of an emergency vehicle, no one on the island has a car. There are no cars. Can you have a scooter?
No.
No scooters.
The only motor vehicles, a lot of lawnmowers you can't even have.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like a riding lawnmower?
Yeah.
There are certain riding lawnmowers you can't. What if they go too fast? What's the rule there?
Gas engines.
Ah. So you need an electric. Could you have an electric car on the island then?
No.
Oh.
No. It has a motor. Yeah. And then you get into like, no, you can't fucking bring your Prius over.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing though. Like, I know it's little. I know it's a minor detail, but the fact that you'll be getting married, and while the ceremony is happening, you won't be able to hear any cars driving by.
None.
Like, it will literally be just serene. Provided the weather is good, serene surroundings. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Kind of like it's a unique experience. There's nowhere else that can guarantee no fucking noise pollution will happen at your wedding.
And that's one of the reasons kind of why we picked it. It's
unique.
I don't even want to say unique because of the number of weddings that happen on Mackinac Island. While we were getting all this set up, I was talking to one of my coworkers who literally said, that's where my first marriage was. First. At Mission Point.
Jesus,
Murphy. It's also where his second divorce was.
Oh, my God.
That was less comfortable. But
okay, so a lot of it's still unique. Even
it's a beautiful destination. It gives you a very different experience than what a lot of people have for their wedding.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what we're going for. We only wanted it to be a couple close friends and just our family. We're not going through a ceremony for us. The ceremony and the way that we practice weddings nowadays, it's not for the two people getting married. If it was for them, everybody that they knew would show up for about 5 seconds just to give them a shit ton of cash and be like, hey, have fun on your honeymoon.
Peace out.
I'm glad that you're already married or gonna be on some faraway land without any of us nearby to ruin your time.
That's fair.
But we're literally doing this for you, for her mom, for my mom, so that way they can have a day to say, this is when my son, my daughter got married. We got married here. It's a cute, unique experience that my dad's probably gonna ruin.
And it's kind of like graduating. Then it sounds like graduating when it really comes down to it. Like, it's for your parents. At least it was for me. Like college, at least. What are you looking up?
I'm looking up
Ghosts with Mackinac.
It was
Good old Henry. Isn't your dog's name Henry?
Henry.
I can't wait to tell Gabby this.
So if rain falls down on wedding day and we need a place to go inside, we'll be married inside the theater at Mission Point.
Oh, that's the most haunted part.
Which is where one of the most famous scenes in Somewhere in Time was filmed.
The movie Somewhere in Time?
It's supposed to take place, I believe, at the Grand Hotel. It's actually...
But it was filmed at Mission Point.
Filmed in Mission Point, inside that theater.
And you want to know who that later inspired to name an album and later on a tour? Iron fucking Maiden.
Oh, I thought you were
Somewhere
pointing
in
at
Time.
the Bruno Mars picture.
There is no you dickwad. I'm not saying anything bad about Bruno Mars.
Hey man, this is on YouTube. You better watch the fucking language.
I don't have to watch the language, but I'm not saying anything bad about Bruno Mars. I'm not gonna lie. Just gonna let that sit for a minute. As I sit here in a Black Dahlia hoodie over a Parkway Drive T-shirt, surrounded by other metal shirts.
No Bruno Mars was hurt in the making of this podcast.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Okay, so one thing I did want to talk to you about, fucking that we haven't talked about at all yet, is Red Dead Redemption 2.
I want to believe.
So I don't play a lot of video games. I never have. Like, there's been a small handful of games that I have played a lot.
That's the same thing that I would say about my video game experience, but I've played more than you have.
A lot more. And you were way more into it when we were younger than I ever was.
But still only into a very small handful of video games.
Okay. You're type specific.
I'm very type specific, and finding games that I thoroughly enjoy is hard for me.
I would say the same about me, yeah.
Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the best video games, in my opinion. But they're story-based.
Well, I mean, a lot of you introduced me to the concept of a story in a game at all. Like, you got me to play Fable, the first one.
You hated stories in games. You just wanted to...
I skipped through them. Yeah, I used to skip through it.
And when games had stories that you had to play the story to get through to the actual game, you wouldn't play it unless someone had already beat that part, so that way you could just jump in and shoot people or hit people or run around.
Yeah, I just wanted to punch things. But you got me to play Fable, and that was fucking incredible. And I sat and I watched all the cutscenes, and that kind of was the stepping stone.
And then they fell off.
Well, I never kept going in that line. See, you played Fable like 2 and 3. My next one like that was Red Dead. Like, I played Red Dead after that. And that one, like, to this day, that first one held up as my favorite game of all time. And the only other game, but in fairness, the only other games I've played in between now and then were things like I played a Madden, and they'll come out every year, you know. Batman, I like the Batman series, the Arkham series, and I dabbled in. I played a little bit of Destiny for a short amount of time. Played a little bit of Titanfall for a short amount of time, but I do think those games are dope. Titanfall especially. Yeah, but that's Titanfall and Titanfall and Destiny were the first games in a while that I'd played that was less about the story and more about like grinding, you know, getting things within the game and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So but those were flashes in the pan. Those were something I played for a minute when they came out, and I was like, I'm not continuing this. And then I went back to Red Dead Redemption. You know what I mean? Like, so I've been waiting for this game essentially since the first one came out, since I played the first one.
So, the difference there, almost all of those games end up having, outside of Madden, all of those games end up having some kind of underlying story mission.
Well, sort of. They're just so short.
Yeah.
And then you just go into the multiplayer shit.
They're short, then you end up, that's what games are now.
Yeah.
They're online multiplayer games.
Yeah.
And you might have like a little campaign to get through, and then you're right into this online world. No one's sitting next to you. The couch co-op is dead.
Mm-hmm. Which is sad because that was the most fun.
That was the most fun. I like the single-player campaign games that are very story-based driven.
Me too.
And you have things like Batman, like Red Dead Redemption, even like Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay attention to the stories in Grand Theft Auto, you can enjoy simply that.
Mm-hmm.
The story of these guys who tried to rob a bank, and how it failed, how it fell apart, and how they got back together. Grand Theft Auto 5 has a very intricate and very entertaining story.
Yes, it does.
All behind just driving around and shooting people.
I still haven't even finished that game.
And killing hookers.
Yeah. But it does, and I really enjoy it.
You should finish that game.
I know I should.
Red Dead Redemption, though, I think 4 story games, simply because Red Dead Redemption 2 adds so much to the story. It's on a brand new system, moving from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, and enhanced for Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
It adds so much playability to the actual game, so much in this expansive open world that you can unlock and achieve and do outside of the actual story of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the story itself that builds upon the first game story, it is a better game overall than Red Dead Redemption 1.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that. But go ahead.
What I will say, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, if you've never played Red Dead Redemption, the first one, Red Dead Redemption 2 makes no sense. There's no point in it, and unless you are literally, just like you used to with video games, letting someone else play through the snow chapter so that way you can just run around and shoot people and ride horses, you are not going to enjoy the video game.
Yeah, if that's all you want is to ride around and shoot people, then you're not going to like it that much.
If you don't know anything about the previous story,
you're not going to...
You're not going to be emotionally invested in the actual campaign of the game.
I think you could be, just not as much if you know the stakes. Going in knowing the stakes for these characters raise the stakes for you as the player. But if you don't know them going in, what ends up happening to them may have a bigger impact than what it had on us.
It's hard for me
because we knew 90% of those players or characters. You're like, all right, you have to survive. You have to survive. You have to survive. You have to die. You have to you know that almost going in. Because we played the first one so well.
That's hard for either one of us to actually understand because we both played the first one.
Right.
At least in my experience, talking to some of my coworkers, some of my friends about playing the game, who have never played Red Dead 1, they hated it. They couldn't get into any part of it, and granted, a lot of them are just, they just want to get into the game and as a cowboy just run around and kill people.
Yeah, well, that's not what, yeah.
I mean, and even the missions themselves, that's not what the missions are about.
No.
Some of them, you get to, like, go in these wild shooting sprees, but a lot of them are tedious and time-consuming of just ride from point A to point B and listen to what people have to say until you finally get to shoot Billy Bob Thornton.
Right. But one fucking game, though, that I did play amongst all those years is a part of the game. One of the game series that you fucking adore. I played the shit. I never finished it, but I played the shit out of Black Flag, Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed was the best game series that has ever been made.
Yeah, this is your favorite.
Black Flag is about the end of that saga for when Assassin's Creed was truly Assassin's Creed.
Well, no, because before Black Flag came out, you had the big problem with like the third or fourth one or something, and that was before Black Flag. There was a night where you and I, you showed me like a clip on YouTube and then explained to me everything about that clip and why it pissed you off, and it was like the ending of the third or fourth one or something like that.
It was the ending of Desmond Miles.
Yes, that character.
Of
yes.
why, and so Assassin's Creed, essentially you're set as, playing from the first game, you're set as Desmond Miles, who is trapped in some lab and is being forced to lay down into this machine that, through his DNA and his DNA connection to his ancestors, is able to relive vital moments of their history.
Yeah.
Within this machine. It accesses his DNA and is able to transport him back, essentially back in time, into like a video game-esque scenario.
Right.
And that's what you play through.
Right.
So you go back in time to like the Middle Ages, and you're
Throughout
assassinating
time at
people,
this point, yeah.
and all that they're trying to do is find these different artifacts, and you don't know what's going on. You play through to Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, then there's Brotherhood and Revelations and all of those games with Desmond Miles, and end in a way that is very unfulfilling to that story. There was the game wasn't, and that's another story-based game, where it's no longer about just going through and completing these assassin tests,
right?
But it's actually about, in each game, uncovering the story outside of the Animus and what's going on with Desmond Miles and finding out what his story is actually about and his history and what's going on in the real world. And all that got cut dry. And they're still doing it a little bit, and they did do that a little bit for Black Flag.
Okay.
You weren't Desmond Miles, but
right.
You were still in an office and able to walk around and do things and uncover other information that was relevant, and you still had some of the other previous characters. Since then, Assassin's Creed Origin, I haven't played Odyssey yet. Assassin's Creed Origin
looks good, though.
Puts you into a brand new character that has no ties to anybody else, and it doesn't give you the same...
Weird.
The same backstory.
So it's just basically the company picking a new person's DNA to look back into.
Yeah, and there's multiple companies doing this.
Now there's multiple companies doing it.
There have always been multiple companies essentially doing this. There's the Assassins and the Templars, and that's what back in time it's all about. Two sides fighting in a war.
Yeah.
And in present day, that war is still going on.
Okay.
But essentially, after losing the story of Desmond, where he saves the world, and then that's never talked about again. But that was the whole point of finding all of that information, of finding these artifacts and being able to unleash this thing and control the world to save the world. And some people think that you need to control it to save it. Others think that you can sacrifice to save it. Nothing came of that. Nothing came of Desmond Miles' struggle.
Weird. Okay, I see what you're saying. So it was an unsatisfying end to that character's storyline.
It was huge disappointment, especially for someone who plays a video game for the story. I was drastically let down by that. The games are still fun.
Yeah.
They've had a couple bad seeds in there because they have to be at like 10 or 11 games by
At
now.
least, yeah.
And
Black Flag was really, really good.
that's not even counting the portable PSP version that they had.
No, yeah. I don't know. Because they don't number them all. Like you said, like Odyssey. Black Flag isn't numbered, you know. The new one isn't.
Yeah, we're not on numbers anymore because they're just spitting them out like...
Which one was the Egyptian one?
Origin.
That, really?
Yep. That is the origin of the Assassins.
Okay.
And their creed.
Like, that game looks good. I kind of wanted to play that.
Fabulous. Played through the
Good.
entire thing. But that's, once again, it's story-based, but the story that it's based on is game-specific, and it's all set back in time. The underlying story isn't that interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
Because it still starts off with a new character who's going into an animus, who's reliving her ancestors' history. But that history is super interesting. What's going on now, like in the old video games with Desmond, what was going on now actually became more of the game than what was actually inside the game.
So, like, you mean like when he's like running around in the laboratory and shit?
Yep. When you're playing in quote unquote present day,
right,
versus in the animus back in time, in that present day was more of the game than back in time.
Right. Okay.
And they lost that. They built all of that up and then just cut it dry.
They abandoned it, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know, another, like, so before I started playing, it's for something else. Before I started playing Red Dead, though, I got that Spider-Man game, that new Spider-Man game.
How is that?
Dude, amazing. It's
you,
fucking incredible.
Can you swing from a web?
Yes, any size.
You can jump a building?
Do you remember playing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
It's that plus everything you ever wanted it to be. Like, better. Like,
so
better in every way.
That, when it came out, was a fantastic game.
Yes.
Because it began to revolutionize the superhero open world concept.
Open world in general.
There was a Superman game that
there was. I remember that game.
Way back. I can't remember the official title of it.
It might have been for one of the movies.
But it was an open world.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Kind of game.
Yeah.
Where you got to fly around as Superman, and much like the Spider-Man where you had, like, in the city, you had these little blips that you could go to and start quests. You could just do that, or you could just fly around as Superman and shoot your laser beams. You couldn't destroy anything or interact with the city. I don't think that even running into cars, you did anything to them.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to see that remade.
Well, there were rumors that Rocksteady, the people that make the Arkham games, were working on a Superman game, but as of now, I believe they're still just rumors. The Spider-Man game is fucking unbelievable. Like, it's so... like, I've beat it. I've 100% completed it and the 3 DLCs twice. And I keep going back to just swing around the city and stop crimes. Because it's just so good. It's clean. It's fun. Like, the playability, like, the way you swing and everything is just so fun. The motion and everything is just really clean.
So they turned it into Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto, where they have the mini missions that just pop up.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of side missions. Oh, yeah.
Where it's just
big time.
Someone screams for help, your spidey sense tingles, and you can swing over there.
Close. There's that. but there's also side missions. You know what I mean? Like, those are just like quote in the game. Those are just quote unquote crimes. It's like thug crimes, prisoner crimes, sable crimes.
And then
like,
you also have strangers.
there's not strangers like that in this game.
But they start mini missions that are outside of the main quest.
There are there are lots of side quests like that, and those side quests actually become the main quests in like some of the DLCs and stuff. So they're
That's
important to do. Yeah. But in terms of a Spider-Man story, it's one of the best ever.
Now, is this based off of the new Spider-Man of the Marvel universe now?
It's not based on that, but it is the first Marvel game and what they're hoping becomes a video game Marvel universe. And it was extremely successful.
Interesting.
This game was Spider-Man essentially versus the Sinister Six, which hasn't been done on screen. So you got Doc Ock, fucking Mr. Negative, Scorpion, Vulture, Shocker.
With those
and
video
Rhino.
games, with how much there is in the universes for both DC and Marvel, that's really what they need to focus on.
Rich.
Is expanding the universes into the video games.
Yeah.
We don't want to play what we've already seen on screen.
No.
That's
yes,
the
exactly.
days for video games to repeat what you've already gone through are over.
Yeah.
People want new experiences. If we can stream everything now.
Yeah.
If I want to relive the movie, I'll just fucking watch the movie.
Right. And a cool side note to that, Peter Parker's a fucking photographer. So one of the things to do in the game is to go around and take pictures of landmarks. Fucking some of those landmarks, Doctor Strange's house. Nelson and Murdoch's law office where Daredevil is. Alias Private Investigations where Jessica Jones is. Like, there's a lot of the Avengers Tower is in the game. Like, there's a lot of references like that in the game.
All those references are super cool, but you're really trying to hype up just taking pictures.
Essentially, yeah. But to me, what that is something they could go deeper into in the next game.
I mean, I'm super into photography too, but
yeah. But that's something else though. Like, there are so many minute, little tiny tweaks they could make already to the second game that would just basically be this game just improved. Like, right now, why am I swinging around and it's not winter out? Like, have it change with have the game in-game be seasonal, you know? New York in the winter would be cool.
Seasons are difficult.
And have it be, like, harder to climb up a building because there's ice or something. You know what I mean?
Seasons are difficult because all of that adds into layers of things that you can't control. Red Dead did that very well.
That's what I was going to say.
Seasons, but with
they had sort of season locations.
Location-based
That's
weather.
true. But
they had weather.
But like the new Forza game has seasons. Like, a lot of games that's a thing that's starting to become big right now. So I feel like you could incorporate that also. If you play like Arkham, when Batman fights, his suit gets scratched up and shit. Yeah. Have that be in the next game too.
That was a cool thing from Throwback Thursdays. That was a cool thing from Fable.
Yes.
When you got injured, your character actually got scars.
Yeah. That
from
was fucking sweet.
Battles lost, from major hits that you've took.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a cool addition that I thought that they threw in there.
That was really sweet.
The seasons thing would be super awesome. That's very difficult to throw into a game.
And these are like tweaks.
And an open world Forza. Is Forza an open world game?
Now they are, yeah.
Yeah, but what is it? You're just driving a car around.
Yeah, essentially.
Do you get to get out of the car?
I don't think so.
That makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's true.
That makes a huge difference in terms of
but
their ability to layer on seasonal changes throughout the game. Because then they don't have to control the character experience as much as you do in these other open world games where you can jump and climb and go other places outside of the road. You're limited in what you can do because you're just in a car.
Yeah, that's true.
They know that if they make an icy, the car does this.
But I mean, like the fucking that would be cool too. Like, what if you had like seasonal crime, like because there are certain like things where he'll get a call because there's a car accident and he has to go lift a car off somebody, and so what if someone hit black ice, during the winter or something? You know what I mean? That'd be fucking dope. But anyway, the thing about the Spider-Man game though is it's not a small map. It like by no stretch of the imagination is it a small map. But I could swing from longest end to longest end in less than 15 minutes probably. Whereas Red Dead 2, I have completed the entire story and still have not seen the entire map.
I've unlocked the entire map.
I still haven't done that.
I've been to Mexico.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yep.
Did you have to glitch there?
Yeah.
You glitched to Mexico?
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's going to be a future DLC.
Yeah.
Because right now it's the exact same as it was in the first one, I heard.
Your horse starts to drown as you try to swim across. Because it runs out of stamina. If you give it if you force feed it stamina stimulants, you can make it all the way and then just hop off into Mexico. Then you can go up into this like little crevice, and from your horse you can jump up over that crevice, and then you're stuck.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man.
Dude, that's fucking... Okay, so this game is so fucking...
And I haven't experienced even... I'd say even 80% of what the game actually has in it for these other things that are still in there. Have you seen the Sasquatch? I haven't.
No. I'll get into that in a second.
There's a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
In the game.
Somewhere, we think.
I've seen videos of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's perfect. Okay, hold on one second. This game is so fucking... Like, it's almost hard-pressed. I've never experienced a game like this. Like, it's so fucking intensely in-depth. Everything, like, you can do... Like, you and I finished the game, but we played different things. Like, we played a different game, almost. Besides, like, we played with the same character and interacted with the same characters and ultimately came to the same ending. But the journey there was different. To the point where I feel the need to go back and replay the entire game to do all the side missions because I still haven't done that. So I still haven't even played like the KKK mission where you get to kill all the KKK people. I still haven't played that.
And we'll have to look online to see if it's been done. I don't know if it's possible to play everything in a playthrough.
Wow.
I don't know if in one playthrough, if by doing one thing you can cancel out something else, and then you won't have that experience in that playthrough.
Right.
So, there are certain things where if you level up one aspect, like you can become a master hunter and kill a certain number of animals, and once you've gotten to a certain level in that category, it unlocks a new random mission where as you're riding or walking by a pond or a stream, some birds will take off and start flying in a random direction. And if you follow those birds, if you are this player that's just like, oh, hey, what's that? Birds are flying in the game. I'm going to go over there too. And you follow these birds for a minute. It'll take you up a mountain, and then you can interact with a giant that's somehow locked behind some rocks and boulders that are covering up a cave.
Yeah.
And I don't
Like
even...
that's the level of intricacy we're dealing with.
And I don't know if there's even a resolution to that.
Nobody does. See that in that. Okay, so that's the other thing about this game is that it is so big and it is so vast that there are things that haven't even been found by anyone yet. When
Videos come out every day.
Every
with
day.
New discoveries of, hey, I just found this. Has anybody else?
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
When this game, like a week after this game first came out, there were a couple things. Like some people found the skeletal remains of a giant. Some people saw there are videos online of 2 locations of a UFO, stuff like that, where you can literally go to a certain place at a certain time and see a UFO flying around in the sky. Then, sometime in the beginning of December, a friend of mine and I were fucking hanging out, and we looked up on YouTube another Red Dead video of 15 secrets in Red Dead Redemption or whatever. And it had a total of 3 or 4 UFO locations now, and another location that they all lead to that people believe to be a star map. And if read correctly, could suggest that there are even more UFO locations in the map. And then, like you just said, the people, they followed the birds that fly off of the fence up a mountain to a fucking cave where something talks to you. Like, what the fuck? Like, stuff like that is constantly fucking being found. There was one where, like, you...
And on a lot of those things, there's no indication for the player, oh, hey,
no,
this is something that you should go do and you'll experience something that no one else has yet.
Nope, no indication at all.
And with something like that, you won't experience that unless you've already done so many things in some other category that's not even related to the main game.
Yeah, so the first person that discovered that had to already be a master hunter, so had to already do extremely difficult tasks in the game, and then just so happened to notice some birds flying.
And because he's a master hunter, what does he do?
Follows them.
Follows the fucking birds.
Insane. Like, what is that?
Or
And then there was one where, like, I found, like, a fucking serial killer's lair. I follow, like, you find a bunch of his kills and you follow the clues.
Yep, and then the vampire.
The vampire. I still haven't... Dude, I found all the clues of the vampire. I go to the location at the time and it's not there. It pisses me off.
You gotta keep trying. Maybe you're not hitting it at the right time.
Maybe it keeps pissing me off, so I stop trying.
Maybe you have to be in and around before the time and then go there.
I don't know.
There's a lot of in the game. There's a lot of haunted locations where ghosts will just appear at certain times.
What?
In some of the swamps in the game, but you literally, and I watched a video of a character that found some of this stuff, or of a player that found some of this stuff. He literally spent probably hours just camping out in the swamp, waking up in the middle of the night, and hanging out in between the hours of like 1 and 3 a.m. in the game time, until something happened. And then ghosts would appear, beckoning to him like they thought that he was the lady's former departed lover. And she's obviously dead and was probably murdered by her father for falling in love with the guy that she wasn't supposed to. But it's just this weird ghost semi-interaction thing where it's talking to you, but you can't interact with it.
Weird.
Yeah, and it will continue to occur with more and more details added onto it, like 4 or 5, 6 times down the road, no matter how many times you go back.
Wow. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. This game has been out for like 2-3 months now, and it's so vast. People still haven't found everything in it.
Well, I'm wondering, so there's another aspect of the game that was in the original game. It was a stranger side mission called, what was it, The Stranger? Or...
The Tall Man?
The Tall Man?
Something like that.
Yeah. So it was a game, if you played through the original game...
And for the record, when I played through the original game, I never found him. I never interacted with him. I saw this in a video recently. Go on.
He so he was a stranger side mission. You just had to see it pop up and actually go to it and start the initial quest. And if you didn't follow through on that first initial quest, you'll never get the rest of it. But then there's a few other quests. It ends in you trying to kill him, and all of your bullets hit him, and he just doesn't die. So is this some immortal being?
They just like go through him.
They just go through him. In the new game,
And then well, hold on though, and then he disappears right in front of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the new game, there's you can find his shack. You can find
Like, you can find his shack.
one can only assume.
I didn't even know that.
It has his shit inside of it.
Okay.
And you can find a lot of other interesting things in the. Okay, so we think it's his shack. If you look at yourself in the mirror inside of his shack, you can see him in the reflection of the mirror.
No way. That's crazy. Now, can you do this as Arthur Morgan?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because it's in like the main section of the map. It's in the bayou.
The Bayou?
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's the devil. I've heard that theory.
Yeah.
He's living in the Bayou.
But I still believe that there's probably more to him and more aspects that can be revealed from his story that I haven't seen online at least yet.
Haven't been found yet.
Yeah.
I think there's that. I think the UFOs actually lead to some sort of side mission, because there's even UFOs in Grand Theft Auto and stuff too. And like you said, you've actually seen Bigfoot videos now?
I literally 2 or 3 days ago I just saw one.
Wow.
With an image of Bigfoot in Red Dead Redemption.
So someone found one.
Yeah. I didn't have time to watch the entire video, but
I really hope. You know what? One thing I really hope for is I'm not even gonna say adding fucking parts to the map like Mexico. Like, it sounds like they're gonna do that, but and that'd be cool and all. But I don't necessarily think it's necessary because the map is so fucking big. But
when you have like 100 online players all in the game, having a large map helps.
oh yeah, big time. But I do hope for future new content. Things like Undead Nightmare 2 would be really cool.
I bet that'll come back, but I bet that it's mostly going to be in an online form.
Yeah, probably.
It's
Maybe
gonna be-
not. Probably.
I could see them bringing it back as an online multiplayer, but because of the success that they've had on Grand Theft Auto multiplayer, which is still
Online.
one of the top multiplayer games online, if you check out Fortnite and all of those.
Yeah.
PUBG.
PUBG.
Yeah.
Pug. Player Unknown Battleground. PUBG. PUBG. Silly. I don't like that.
Yeah, if you check out some of those games, it's one of the most played still online video games.
Yeah.
They're having great success right now with Red Dead Redemption online.
I still haven't even played online.
And if they continue to, we might not see Undead Nightmare for some time. Because that only came out because they were trying to milk what had become a massive cash cow for them that they didn't expect.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody thought the cowboy game would do good. But it was just so fucking good. You know, there's a guy, I actually had to look it up, because there's a guy, I started watching this new show, I told you about it, Letterkenny. And there's a character on that show that when he like gets mad and yells, sounds identical to Dutch. I was like, did this fucking guy do Dutch's voice? Like, I had to look it up.
Did you look it up?
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't do it.
Which guy?
Squirrely Dan, the big guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
When he gets mad, he sounds just like Dutch. It's fucking crazy.
Like Dutch when he's mad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, if he can go into that when he's yelling, you know he can, like, kind of just talk like that. You know what I mean? Like, I could see him doing Dutch's voice. Whoever did his voice did a fucking great job. And the guy that did Marston came back and did, like, oh, God. Excuse me. It's so fucking intricate and amazing. It's an
was a great game.
amazing fucking game. It's an amazing game.
Now, you don't like...
For me, it's the best game I've ever played.
You don't really like builder games or creation games, things like that.
Like Sims and Minecraft?
Yeah, essentially.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
Those are non-story based. It's just... I like games that are economic management games.
Okay.
Yeah. Where that's an actual type. City builder games are management style based games. You're controlling a whole number of economic aspects of the game, and then you more or less let it grow as a fungus naturally around that.
Okay.
And I find those games very interesting. I spend a lot of time on them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... Outside of console, there's a lot of, like, PC games.
I feel like those are gotta be bigger on PC.
Yeah, massive on PC.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole community to stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But it all stems from Minecraft at the end of the day, because that game started off a lot of that creation, open world, do what you want, build what you want, be who you want, kind of thing.
I mean, for people that like that shit, it's a great game.
The only issue with it is in Minecraft, for instance, there literally are no rules. You're just...
Yeah.
Oh, here you are on a map.
Here's a blank canvas. It's not even a map. It's a blank canvas. There's a giant empty patch.
Well, I mean, they put a world around you.
But you can take it all down and make it empty. Like, I remember one part of Preston's Minecraft map once. He just had, like, this massive empty field where he just built, like, characters. Like, he built a giant Charizard.
So,
stuff like that.
You can load a flat map in Minecraft.
Oh,
where you
okay.
can experiment with how to build certain things. And, well, essentially what people use it for is literally to experiment. A lot of times with, like, the electricity in Minecraft is used with red dust, which you have to set up in certain ways and get that to work with different other technologies in the game for switches and doors that open and pistons and sticky pistons to move blocks around.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make a lot of cool shit. Like, I've seen people make, like, fucking 100 and 200 block tall, like, moving robotic, like, spiders that you can literally stand on and they'll just crawl across the map.
That's cool.
Super cool. Probably months of work to actually build that and put that together.
But it's essentially digital Legos.
It's digital Legos.
Yeah.
But the actual game, they put you in a world, and there's mountains and caves and water and deserts, and it's interesting. If you play on survival mode, there's stuff to do, but without someone to do it with, without someone else to share in the world with, you're literally just alone in this empty void of a world trying to survive on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And some parts of that can be fun, other parts of that get tedious after a while.
Yeah, grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what a lot of games seem to be based on. The story is short, and then you just grind shit out. I don't enjoy that much. I like to punch things still, like on Batman and Spider-Man. Fucking great games, and like I said, like the story in Spider-Man, not nearly as intricate as Red Dead, obviously, but like if you were to do this story on screen or in a comic, it would fucking be a great storyline. You know what I mean? Like, it's just good. It's just a really good story.
Without Red Dead 1 or 2 in the question, best video game, console doesn't matter, PC doesn't matter, best video game in your mind for you that you've ever played.
Taking Red Dead out?
Yep. New or old? Sometimes old are better. Sometimes new are better.
It's hard to say because like I've definitely played like Madden more than any other game. But like Madden is like I just want to shut my brain off for a minute and zone out and like do this task and win this game. You know what I mean? It's kind of like playing like Sudoku almost. Like I play Sudoku on my phone and Tetris and shit like that. And fucking it's kind of the same thing for me. It's just like
But is that
it's just
so
like that.
Is that
so
the best game?
No,
for you?
I wouldn't necessarily. I've played it more than any other, but I wouldn't say it's the best for me because.
So what's the most interesting game? What could, if you had like a month off of work and had to be stuck in your room, just playing, being able to, you got one game to pick from.
And Red Dead 2 is not an option.
Red Dead 2 is not an option.
Because here's the thing.
I need a month to play that.
Yeah, normally I chew through games like they're nothing, but if I'm really into it. But Red Dead, like I said, I beat it all. It took a while, and I feel like I need to go back and do it all again. Because I feel like I missed so much. And there were missions I never completed. So, yeah. So that's not an option. Man. I haven't played that many games. Well, if I'm picking... Okay, so I have to have played it. So if I'm just picking from the pool I've played from... It would either be Arkham Knight or the new Spider-Man. Because both of those storylines... I love both of those characters. And in terms of storylines for those characters, both of those are incredible. And they both, honestly, I think Batman usually takes me a little bit longer to beat. So Spider-Man's shorter for me. But I don't know. It'd be a close call between those two. Probably Spider-Man, though.
So Spider-Man wins?
Probably. Because it seems to have, for me currently at least, it seems to have more replayability. Like, I find myself just going in and playing it for no reason, and I've never really done that with a game.
If I was stuck in a room for a month, and I had to pick one game to play, I'd play Knights of the Old Republic.
See, I've never played that.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
On what?
Xbox, original.
Boom. Original Xbox. You know, they really need to fucking do a new one or something.
Of Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah.
They made an MMORPG.
Yeah.
And apparently that was mediocre.
I think it was massively popular.
Yeah.
And that seems to be... see, I don't know that storyline, but whenever I hear someone talk about Knights of the Old Republic, they say it's like the best Star Wars storyline. They should put it in movies, like everything.
100%. Yeah. Left and right.
So what's
Knights
the premise of that? Just get bullet points. If you don't want to go too deep.
You can't.
It's too intricate.
You can't. Like, thousands of years before any of the Star Wars that most people know happened.
So thousands of years before Episode 1.
Yeah, a bunch of other shit happened.
Involving Jedi and Sith.
Yeah, involving Jedi and Sith. The first one is more or less the death of the Jedi. The second one is after the death of the Jedi. The first death of the Jedi.
Right, I was going to say.
One of the first deaths of the Jedi.
The Sith and the Jedi have been wiped out multiple times.
And that's one of the reasons why that story is so important, is because it's relevant to what's going on now movie-wise
Right.
in the actual Star Wars Chronicles. But it doesn't. You have to play the game. There's no explaining any part of it. You can't get into any details without just. It's a story-based game.
Yeah.
Without just telling you the entire story of the game
Yeah.
for either one of them. But there's lots of cool aspects of it in terms of the different planets and different places that you get to go to and experience that are referenced in the movies and chronicles of Star Wars, but you don't often see. You get to go to like the actual Wookiee planet, which I think we've only seen in really one movie so far.
Yeah.
And you get to literally, as a character, walk around, and you can make your own lightsaber, and you're just some guy that doesn't know that he has that he can use the Force, and you learn how to use the Force. And make your own lightsaber. You can be light side or dark side. You can choose your own path along that way, and there's tons of different choices throughout the game. And it's a turn-based strategy game, essentially, is what it is. And what those are, even when you're playing it as an RPG, you don't hit X to swing your weapon. You get into a conflict, and you choose, okay, I'm going to use this attack, this attack, this attack, or this attack. And then it gives you a turn. And they'll attack, and then you'll use your attack. And you can load up a bunch of attacks in a row if you know, like, alright, this one only takes so much time, it delivers this much damage, this is what I'll probably do. And then you can just kind of let it play, and then just watch. Oh, I won, oh, I lost, oh, I won, oh, I lost. Kind of thing. It's hard to explain. It's kind of like Final Fantasy-esque, if you've ever seen that or seen that played.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet it's still an RPG because you are walking around as that person.
Right.
And you have the ability to influence those fights in other ways. By healing yourself, changing weapons to something else, to actually fire your gun over at that person, then change back to your sword to slash at this person.
Huh.
But it's not instant
It's not a
action.
hack slash at all.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
And all of it's a dialogue-based game where you walk up to people, there's dialogue, and then it gives you options of how to respond. And your responses influence the rest of the game. Influences your light side or dark side rating, things like that. And then the story behind it, and the Sith lords in each of the games are just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And the stories where the climax of each story, you have, as a true Star Wars fan, you have to play the games, one way or another.
That's real. The game style, to me, just doesn't sound, you know what I mean? Like, the idea of a Star Wars game where I can't hit somebody with a lightsaber by pressing one button bugs me. But I get it. I'm also not a gamer.
You just want like an open world Rockstar game as a Jedi.
Yeah.
You just want to walk around like Grand Theft Auto style and fucking chop hookers in half with a lightsaber.
No.
I mean,
I'd rather it be like
No. You're telling me that if given the option to walk around and be able to just walk up to a hooker and just chop her in half, you wouldn't enjoy that in a game? Not necessarily just a hooker.
I mean, yeah, like
But like anyone.
If okay. So usually in Grand Theft Auto, I get respawned in front of a hospital, and so like if right in front of that hospital, I had the ability to whip out a lightsaber and start chopping up everybody on the fucking sidewalk.
Just like you can whip out like an AK-47
Right.
and just in that little back corner that every hospital has, just kind of man your station and be like, well, I guess this is where I'm going to die again.
You know what would be funny? What if there was a scene like, did you play Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Those were good games. Those were pretty good games. I can't remember. Did he fight droids and troopers in that game? Like, imagine a situation where you have a newly trained Jedi and they fought both droids and troopers, but never, like, really in close combat or anything. And then one day, he gets in close combat with a trooper and realizes that it's a person. He didn't realize that before.
Like they just take the helmet off and it's a black guy?
No. Like, he chopped the arm off and he can see, like, the flesh. And he thought it was a robot. And he just now realizes how many people he's killed. Like, what would that scene be like? I don't know why my mind just went there.
You remember when Luke Skywalker on Dagobah killed Darth Vader and the helmet fell off and it was him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a lot like that.
Yeah.
Just this realization of, oh no, the evil is within me.
Just the look of horror on their face, I think, would be funny. But anyway, I don't know why I started talking about that.
Well, on a totally divergent subject, not video game related, not anything else, just something that I thought was crazy.
That's fine. I'd say I just wanted to cover Red Dead 2 with you, and I think we've done that. So.
The kilogram.
What the fuck is the kilogram?
You know what a kilogram is.
Oh, I thought...
If I told you, like...
Do you want to know where my mind went right there?
What?
A Netflix movie.
Oh.
I thought it was a Netflix movie, and my thought was it's a horror film about someone who sends, like, holiday grams to people.
A kilogram?
Yeah.
Hey, man, have you seen the kilogram? Hey, man, have you seen the kilogram?
It was like Bird Box or something.
It's not that heavy, but it's massive.
I'm sorry.
So, a kilogram...
The weight of the measurement.
...is like the universal measurement for mass. Even the pound is based off of the kilogram.
Right.
The kilogram is based... The weight that we measure a kilogram off of has been based off of just some lump of platinum alloy, some rock that's in the Museum of Weights and Measurements.
Wait a minute.
There's literally just some chunk of material that everybody in the world decided, yup, that's it. That's how much we're going to say this weighs. So a kilogram is
that one of that material.
One of that.
What?
And there's evidence that over time, from when we started that to now, when we still base it off of that, the weight of this. If like 10 years from now, we need to be like, oh, how much was a kilogram again? I don't know. Let's go measure that rock.
What?
Whoa. There's evidence that rock has actually lost mass over time. So
even if they go back and measurement, what's the measurement gonna read?
1 kilogram.
But if they're basing the kilogram off that rock, then I don't.
So 2018.
What the fuck? This is real? Like, what?
That's
real.
We
based the weight off of just a rock we found.
Yep, we based the weight of a kilogram just off of a rock. Just off of a rock that everybody in the world said, yeah, that looks like a kilogram to me.
Well, fuck. What the fuck?
So it's a
I didn't approve of this.
It's a hunk of platinum iridium alloy. called Big K.
I think that's just, no, never mind.
And we've been using that as our basis for the kilogram since 1889.
Jesus.
100 years before I was born.
Yeah, me too. So 130 years.
No.
How does it feel to be 29, bud?
No, it's not. No, it's 100 years before I was born.
So 129 years.
100 years before the birth of Jordan. Moral of the story. Moral of the story. 100 years before the year that you were born, you old bastard.
Which would now make it 129 years.
Hey, man. I don't know if you realized when I sent you the number of days until your birthday the other day that I calculated it out to November 31st.
Did you really?
Yeah, fuck you.
You dick.
Moral of the story. 2018, everybody got together and decided, hey, we should probably base it off of something, that's not this rock. Because, if someone were to steal it,
we'd be fucked.
We'd literally, and, Y2K actually happened, and it was just happened in, 2020. We'd have no way to, actually, we have physical scales and things like that, but we'd have no reference point anymore if, everything was lost.
What the fuck
to
is...
just be oh, yeah, 1 kilogram, it weighs as much as a rock that we can't find anymore. So, just make it up.
So, wait a minute. You're telling me that the weight of, an eighth is based off of this rock?
Yeah.
With
yeah.
3.5 grams.
3.5 grams.
Kilogram.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yep.
This is fucked up to me.
Even the pound is based off of the kilogram. A pound is so many kilograms.
Right, yeah.
That's
yeah.
where we come up with it.
Is the kilogram the smallest unit of measurement?
No, you can go down to a gram.
Oh, a gram is smaller than a kilogram?
I believe so. Yeah, because a kilogram would be 1,000 grams, right? Moral of the story.
So they weighed that rock, decided it was 1 kilogram, and then decided, 1,000.
If you took this, if you broke that 1,000 times
pieces,
and they were all equal,
then those would be grams.
That'd just be 1 gram.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean,
this seems foolish to me. You see, this seems foolish to me.
Rather than doing that, as of 2018, they've actually fixed it.
Okay, so we fixed it this past year.
Yep, to the Planck constant.
Okay.
Which is...
I like the word constant involved in the fucking thing. Jesus Christ.
It's a universal, foundational concept in quantum mechanics. The Planck era of the Big Bang, you remember learning about that. It's a very finite measurement of matter that can be in the universe. And it's a constant for the mass at that point. Mm-hmm. And then we can build off of there. So this is very, 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 very small. And then they're just saying, all right, so a kilogram is this many of a Planck constant. So now we can take that rock and throw it away. Because now we have something that no matter what happens anywhere in the universe, the Planck constant is a constant. We can always measure off of that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, thank God that they finally fixed that in 128 years later.
29 years later.
In 2018, it was 128 years later.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. They didn't wait.
No.
129.
No.
That, I just, that blew my mind.
That blows my mind. That's a really fucking crazy factoid. That's fucking insane.
That was the same year, last year,
Yeah.
that the first successful uterus transplant from a dead person. They took a dead lady's uterus.
Uh-huh.
They put it in someone else,
Oh.
and she successfully gave birth to a healthy baby.
That happened?
That happened.
So whose baby is it?
Well, that's the baby right there.
Whose baby is that then?
Newborn baby girl.
Does that baby then have DNA from 3 different people? How the fuck does that work?
Healthy baby girl. It was, a 45-year-old woman. Uterus. And a 32-year-old woman who really wanted a baby.
Jesus.
No names given.
Okay.
So
Oh my
at the same
God.
time that we were doing this, NASA actually launched a probe into the fucking sun.
Really?
Yeah. It was
How close did it make it?
the Parker Solar Probe, which was literally designed to touch the sun.
It would. No. How can? There's no way they can even think that anything we could design would get that close.
Why is the sun's atmosphere so much hotter than the actual surface of the sun? And that's been the issue.
Wait, what?
The atmosphere of the sun. So there's...
So the outside rim, before you even get to the surface, is hotter than the surface?
Yep, there's a whole
That
bunch...
makes no sense.
There's a whole bunch of gas on the outside of it that's more or less superheated.
Burning.
Burning.
Is it?
And it's actually hotter than the
And-
physical surface.
An Atmosphere of Fire.
Yeah,
Album title.
the atmosphere of fire.
Anyone who ever drops that album, just give me a nod. That's all I'm saying.
So essentially, NASA came up with, because this has been baffling up people for decades. Why isn't it?
Yeah, that well.
Shouldn't it cool off as it goes further out?
First of all, I didn't know the sun had an atmosphere. Knowing that it does, and knowing what atmospheres do here, I could see a burning collection of gases being actually hotter than a nuclear reaction, though. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
So, as of October, the spaceship that they sent has come within 26.55 million miles to the sun, which is a new record for the closest man-made object to ever get to the sun.
No way. Really? That's pretty cool.
They've designed it where it will actually come within 4 million miles.
And what's it at right now again?
26.
So it's got 22 million miles to go.
22 million miles to go.
Okay.
And a half.
Before they think it'll die. Because it's too hot.
Yep. And it's going to be traveling at 430,000 miles per hour.
Holy shit. 430,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So every 2 hours it's going just under 1 million miles.
Yep. Or every 3 hours it's going
Well, then it should be there by
1.2
now.
miles.
If that happened in October, shouldn't that take just like not a lot of time at all? Is there an update?
400,000 miles per hour. No, I think that'll be the speed when it reaches it.
Oh.
Because it's going to be using gravity off of Venus and probably Mercury to actually create
that's very
some of
different.
that speed.
Okay. Yeah, that's very different.
I don't think it's going to be traveling that the entire time.
Okay. Wait, in October October it got 26 million miles away.
Yep, in October it was still still just under 30,000 or 30 million miles away.
Yeah.
over the next several years, the probe will make use of the gravity of Venus and actually dip closer and closer to the sun's surface. So it's going to probably create several loops where it goes a little closer, loops around Venus, goes a little bit closer, loops back around Venus, goes a little bit closer, loops back around Venus, goes a little bit closer. So every time it's going to get a little bit closer. Traveling pretty fucking fast that whole time.
Yeah.
But at each perihelion or aphelion, whichever one's the closer one, in its ellipsis, it's going to be a little closer to the sun. So probably like 26 million miles, 20 million, 15,
Right.
10, 5, 4,
4.
3, 2, 1. We know how to count down.
So that's how it's gonna. That's smart. That's brilliant, actually, because that makes it so it's not just a one-shot mission. You get a dose of information for an extended period of time, and as a scientist, that's what you want.
Because they want to understand why the atmosphere of the sun is so much hotter than the actual surface. And that's what this probe is designed to do, is to actually measure the differences and bring back information to NASA, so that way they can make calculations to figure out why this phenomenon that they don't understand has been happening.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
By 2025, you're going to be old as fuck by then.
Dude, we're the same age.
You're going to be 35 that year.
Everything you say about me, you say about you.
Like 5 years away from 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's-
like 40 is
you.
the new 20, bro.
No.
Calm the fuck down.
20 is 20.
Nah.
Yeah, 20
40
years.
is like the new 20.
Like by math,
Dude,
if you take
fuck
40
your
and
math.
subtract 20,
Have you
you're
seen...
at 20.
Dude,
So 40 is twice 20. No matter which way you look at it,
Joe Rogan's 50.
yeah, that's 10 years older than 40.
You can still be that fit and that quick at 50.
Yeah, he
It's fine.
can.
Yeah, so can we.
No.
You gotta fucking take care of yourself.
I
know your snacking habits.
I-
You gotta cut that shit out. You are fit, and you do work out. You've always been fit, but
sit
you
on
gotta
my
take care of them arteries too, motherfucker.
I sit on my ass.
Yeah.
Eat what I want.
How you liking that fucking, oh, come on.
The Yeti?
The new thing you just got.
Oh, that was great.
What are those called?
Instapot.
No, I'm sorry. The running thing.
Oh, the treadmill?
Treadmill. Jesus fucking Christ.
The running thing.
I couldn't remember.
The thing that sits still
And then
while you
run
tread on it and it mills back and forth. Yeah,
Sorry.
the
I
treadmill.
couldn't remember.
It's
great.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet. But also, you like the Instapot and the Eddies too.
Instapot is awesome. We've made some awesome, great food.
Fuck
I
yeah.
hate the Yeti.
Aw.
Too hot.
It is, right? That's why I put ice in there with it.
No. Christmas Eve,
Oh, Jesus.
I made a cup of tea
Yeah.
so we could drive out to Gabby's family's house.
Yeah. How far away is that?
2 hours.
Okay.
2.5 hours because we were driving slow. 2 hours after I got there, I burnt my mouth on my fucking tea.
So 4.5 hours in that cup, and it's still too hot to drink. Now, I don't have that problem when I put a bunch of ice in it. I only have to wait like an hour. But
Yeah, I didn't put any ice in it.
you don't want to do that. I
Yeah.
warned you. I told you to do it. It's weird. It's crazy how fucking good they are.
I took the lid off for half the drive and just had scalding fucking hot tea open in a moving car because that's safe. And it cooled off a little bit. I put the lid back on
And then it heated back up.
and it heated itself back up.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll do that. I told you this. I told you the same story. I burnt myself too.
Yeah,
But once you learn it,
no.
It's the greatest thing ever.
No, it's the devil.
No.
It's the fucking devil. I haven't used it since then.
Oh, come on. You gotta learn how to use it. Come
I
on.
hurt myself.
Dude, I hurt
I
myself
couldn't
too.
taste Christmas dinner
I'm sorry.
because
Jesus Christ.
I burnt my.
Now I'm the fucking Grinch.
I assumed that because I tasted it when we got there, I was like, oh, is that still hot? Yeah, it's still fucking hot. No, I'm just blowing out of my mouth because it's fucking cold. So I figured, I'll let this sit for a little bit. Open the top of the lid, tip the little mouthpiece back, let some of the steam come out, because it was still fucking steaming when we got there.
Yeah.
2 hours later, I took a drink from it, thinking, this'll be fine.
You took a big drink? Oh, shit.
My entire mouth, my tongue, I have a mark that I can still feel right now on the tip of my tongue from where it hasn't healed all the way.
Oh, my God.
This isn't funny.
It's kind of funny because I've done it to myself. Okay, rule number 1 with the Yetis. You don't ever, if it's hot, you don't ever just big gulp. You always dip your toe in the water before you dive in, bud. Like, that's a big one. Like,
Things aren't supposed to be hot after 4 hours.
in a Yeti they are.
Warm.
Wait till summertime and you want something cold, and it's cold forever. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Speaking of something cold, you know how, you know what the heavy water is used for finding, like, these mysterious particles that don't actually interact with any matter?
The neutrinos?
Yeah, things like that.
From that episode of the Cosmos where he went down into the sub-bunker that looked like a Dalek.
Got it.
Yeah.
They have a better way to find it now.
Oh, really?
Yep. Down in the South Pole, deep under some layers of ice.
Well, that's where they found the recent ones, was a bit somewhere in Antarctica, I think.
Yep, that's what they're using now. Not heavy water. They have
light water?
No, just fuck off for a minute. They have a giant 1 cubic kilometer sized ice cube.
Hang on. So you got an ice cube that
measures 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer.
It's 4 sides. It's a square.
It's a cube.
It's a big square. It's a big cube.
It has 6 sides.
6 sides, big square. Each side
Cube.
is a kilometer.
A square is flat. A cube has 3 dimensions.
This is a cube, or are we dealing with a square?
A cube.
So they've cut a cube.
A massive cube.
I mean, if it's a kilometer, it's pretty fucking massive. It's more than a mile, isn't it? How many feet?
No, a kilometer is less than a mile. So 1 cubic kilometer is about 1.3 billion cubic yards.
How many feet?
Well, in every yard, there's 3 feet.
How many yards?
1.3 billion
What?
cubic yards.
No. In the kilometer?
Yeah, because everything gets, like, to the power of 3. So you take how many yards are in a kilometer, and then you literally
Hang on.
square that and then times it by itself one more time.
What's just how many feet in a kilometer? That's all I want to know. It can't be billions, because it can't be billions of feet.
So yards per kilometer.
3,280 feet.
So let's do the math on that real quick.
So 3,280 feet
280
is one.
feet.
So each side of this fucking thing is 3,000 feet.
So that's 1,093 yards per kilometer. And then we're going to times that by itself. Three times over. And that's going to get you to 1.3 billion
Hold on.
cubic yards.
Hold on. So this thing is 3,000 feet tall? If it's 3,000 feet in a kilometer.
Wide and long and tall.
Tall, wide, and long.
Yeah.
Is this on the surface or is it cut out of the ground? Okay.
No, it's under.
Okay, because I was going to say the
Yes.
Empire, just to give people some reference, from floor to tip,
Just the tip.
just the tip, the Empire State Building stands at 1,454 feet. So this is over double the Empire State Building.
So it is 1 cubic kilometer of crystal clear ice cube
This is unbelievable.
that they're using to actually track some of these mystery particles.
Why are we calling them neutrinos? Is that just is it referred to as mystery particles, or we're looking for neutrinos, or are neutrinos mystery particles?
Neutrinos
Are
mystery particles.
Okay,
But
we're looking for other ones too, maybe.
yeah,
Okay.
the building blocks of matter. So protons, electrons, muons, neutrinos, and quarks.
Okay.
Specifically neutrinos, because those are the high energy particles that we found at one point, and we were like,
By accident.
first we speculated. Mathematically speaking, there's something missing from this. There's some energy leaving from all of these equations, a lot of it, and we can't figure out where it's going. So there has to be something that's jumping out of here. We're going to call it some random name. My name's Miss Matt Neutrine, so I'm going to call it the Neutrino. Obviously not the name of the person that discovered the neutrino. I just made that up. At that point, once you theorize something, the goal is to, well, how do I test for that? You come up with one way it hasn't worked. Because neutrinos are so small that they don't actually interact in any measurable way with matter. Most of the time, they pass through the empty space in between atoms without disturbing anything.
Okay.
So heavy water, H2O2, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
is the atoms are much more densely packed, and the atoms themselves and the electrons around them get scrunched all together, making there less space in between everything, and more likely for a small, tiny particle to interact with something. So we were able to discover it. We were like, hey, that moved. Wasn't on its own. Must have been a neutrino. Now we have this ice cube, which, because of temperature affects the movement of particles, things tend to slow down in the cold, and because of the density of this ice cube and the location that it's at, as neutrinos go through it, we're actually able to figure out their velocity and the energy that they have to actually be able to say where they're coming from.
Oh, wow.
And that's the coolest thing in the world. Because we actually, the most recent one that we found using this cubic kilometer ice cube was from some far off galaxy, which is actually a fairly rare galaxy type for its like size and shape, and it's a little bit older, that sent out this fucking neutrino. But they're so high energy, we don't understand what in the universe is actually creating these. So are they just being shot out of these supermassive black holes? Are they coming from this? Are they coming from that? And that's what we're hoping to answer by discovering them as they pass through the Earth, and then tracking them back to where they actually came from in the first place.
Wow. That's fucking insane.
2018, the year of Trump. We've done a lot, even with him. Obama should have never made fun of Trump.
That's kind of true. feel that. He took that to heart. A little too seriously.
Yeah.
No, that's why the ice as opposed to the heavy water?
It's probably something to do with the density. So when things get cold, molecules slow down. But what happens when they slow down? They can actually contract.
Right.
Because they're not, when they're moving fast, they're bouncing into each other and then zipping away.
Right.
So there's a lot more space in between hot molecules. That's why things can go from a liquid to a gas, and the gas can spread out.
Mm-hmm.
A gas or a liquid to a solid, and this is hard to explain because technically ice actually expands when it goes through this process. But because it's so much colder, the molecules are much more tightly packed together, making them harder, such as ice, making them into a solid. They're probably, and I haven't read too deeply into it, but it probably has to do with the density being lower in the earth. Going through enough other matter could actually slow these particles down. Let me see if I can pull it up and find out if there's any actual information in terms of why.
Why the ice, specifically?
Yeah.
This is fucking insane. There's so many things about, like, the building blocks that we don't even know.
No. Nothing in terms of why the ice is better.
Huh. So fucking crazy.
But
Probably, you're right, though. It's probably just, like, slowing down and... Yeah.
mm-hmm.
That's probably the thing. It's a pretty massive ice cube, though.
It's called the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory.
It's a pretty fucking big ice cube. You're gonna need a big drink. For that one.
That's gonna be a massive drink.
That's gonna be a real big drink.
This is the view. And just so everybody knows, I'm showing him a picture, an oval picture of the Milky Way galaxy as seen through the eyes of the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory.
And
that literally looks like the Eye of Sauron.
That's exactly what I was gonna fucking say. Oh, so that's the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, it's just a flux of radiation and particles that are picked up that's displayed in a black to yellow scale depending on the frequency that they're picked up, which literally creates just a ring of burning fire and hate in the middle of this oval, which is oddly eye-shaped, to create the ring, the Eye of Sauron.
The Ring of Fire.
If anyone's interested in finding any of this information, you should check out icecube.wisc.edu. And that is for the Ice Cube South Pole Neutrino Observatory.
That's fucking fascinating. I'm glad they're doing that shit. That's really fucking fascinating. I heard I heard part of a podcast recently. God damn it. They were talking about...
I was on a podcast recently.
Like now?
No.
They were talking about some crazy conspiracy theory, and man, when people start talking about the space conspiracy theories, and you just go, no, that's not possible because of this. Like, it's, if you've taken college level astronomy, and watch the show Cosmos. Like, that's all you need to know that these things, that's not where the science is.
Look what?
I can't remember the example right now, honestly. But it was irritating. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people don't fully grasp the idea that if something is 1,000 light years, if something is 2 million light years away, then if something is alive on that planet looking at Earth through the same exact stuff that we have here on Earth, it's seeing Earth 2 million years ago. Because it took 2 million years for that light to get there.
That's what a light year is.
Right, I know. But
it's a measure
I'm
of
not sure.
distance, but it's also tells you how much time it takes for light to travel.
Yeah, yes,
across
exactly.
that distance.
So there's no question in my mind that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe. No question at all. But the idea of it having come here, like, it
we
really feels like it had. If it did, it was a fluke.
We don't know what kind of technology other life in other on other planets or other galaxies has. Being able to move through wormholes, which has been proven that wormholes and
even if you had
theoretically speaking has been proven to be possible to be able to warp time and space,
okay,
to literally fold the fabric of space-time to be able to move from point A to point B
right,
instantly.
but
from their planet, how would they know to come to
right,
Earth?
their telescope would have to be able to see
Bend space-time.
or bend space-time, or they're just really good guessers. Let's just say they've been doing this for trillions of years, and they know.
That's not what would happen. It's not a really good guess.
It
is the telescope bending space-time.
Well, no. Guessing in the same way that we do about with math and stuff, they can calculate the probability of life producing on a certain planet. But even then, say they would have seen this all those years ago and be able to calculate that, they would have to have a point B, which they'd have to be able to fucking know where the planet's gonna be in X number of millions of years for life to develop.
That's easy.
Yeah, probably. It's orbit.
That doesn't change. You know the motion of the Milky Way.
Yeah.
You know the motion of the planet around its star at that point. Most of what we can see outside of our own solar system is purely large, massive planets, and that's only been in the past 10 years. Massive planets around other stars.
But this is my fucking point, though. Like, just to get out of the gate, just to get the idea to even come to check out what's going on Earth, it takes technology that we can't even fathom yet.
So what's to say that they haven't been here?
What do you mean?
That intelligent life hasn't visited Earth from another solar system.
Nothing.
You can't fathom the technology that they have.
Yeah.
The wormhole using telescope that can bend space-time to look at another planet in real time.
Right.
Exactly as it's appearing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would let you. There could be an alien literally listening in to Q106 right now and rocking out to some AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
Because those radio waves are traveling out into space, and with the right kind of wormhole, all that you're doing is dilating the distance between you and that point to allow either physical travel or for light to travel. Because if you can travel, light and radio waves can as well.
Yeah.
And if you're shortening that distance, but wouldn't we see some kind of dilation on our side as well, if that were the case?
I don't know.
Probably. Unless they were a silent civilization that was only dilating it and not coming through. But then we still see the issue of the visible light coming through, and with NASA and all the other satellites, we'd see other sides of it too. But there are ways around that.
I don't know, man. Like, for me, whenever I started, because I used to buy into everything, but whenever I started whenever I realized, like, whenever I found out basically that they not only could explain how, like, they can explain everything about how they built everything, like pyramids, fucking Stonehenge, fucking all the shit. All of that is done, explained, mystery solved. Like, humans did it all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking why they did it is still a bit of a mystery. That is still not entirely understood, because these things aren't like crypts. These aren't these aren't burial mounds of any kind. These are something else. We don't really know what they are. But you and I came to a theory once that I liked, which essentially they were like gigantic road signs. This is a symbol for home. If you can see these from a massive distance away, you know how to get home. That kind of makes sense to me, especially in like a barren landscape.
Yes, in some ways, but in others, a lot of the ways that the pyramids and a lot of those other structures line up are only actually visible from the air.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So the pyramids, for instance,
Well, that ruins that theory
the
completely.
pyramids of Giza are set up in the same alignment, and they aligned at their time with the belt of Orion.
Right, the constellation of
Yeah.
stars, yeah. But the constellation, but that was my point, is the belt of Orion points to the North Star, which is always the compass to home.
Yeah, but how can you see the alignment of those pyramids from a far off point? You can.
Yeah,
You might
that's
be
true.
from a far off point. You might be able to see the pyramids poking up into the sky. That's great and a great way to find your way home. But the actual alignment that they're in, you just need one pyramid to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't need the arrangement that you have that's so meticulously set up
To the
across
sky.
across the entire planet.
Yeah. Pretty much every single place you find a pyramid, it's lined up to stars. And to each other.
Now, there's some instances where you have things like Stonehenge, where those are meant for the people on the ground to be able to see the summer and winter solstices and the equinoxes.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to see the sunlight peak between
Right.
certain points. Those you can say, those are made by humans for humans. We know how they did it. We can find ways that prove that humans could have done this with their technology at the time.
Mm.
But the alignment of pyramids, that really the alignment is only appreciated from above, which we had no way to be above them at that time.
No, somebody else brought this up. I can't remember who, but somebody else brought this up to me recently too. To me, that's real easy to explain, because their existence, everything that they rely on, their stories, their fucking harvests,
Are for the gods.
their life relied on knowing the sky. Like, they had to have such an intimate relationship with what's going on in the sky at all times. So the idea of building something,
which makes sense to build something that allows, from your perspective, you to attribute things to, now it's this time of year because this is here. Let's pay homage to this time of year because we know it's here.
yeah, essentially a calendar in terms of Stonehenge.
But building things that
line up, it makes sense. Like, if in some sort of a monument, because you have such an intimate knowledge.
But
in terms of their ability to do it and their understanding of the sky, it makes sense. That part of it is what I'm saying.
It makes sense that they had the ability to understand and why they were doing it, because they relied on information from the stars and the sky to tell them what time of year it was,
Everything.
what to do, what was going on in their universe at
What,
the
where,
time.
and why.
Yeah. But the scale at which they built it on, things like that, to pay homage to those creations,
Well, no, that can't be why. I was just throwing it.
to give homage to those creations would be much easier represented on something that, from someone on 2 feet, that they could appreciate, hey, this is set up the same way as that.
Yeah.
So either they're building it for someone that they think is looking down on it, or someone that is looking down on it. A religious purpose, gods descending from the sky, which is in every
Every
which
text
is in every
everywhere,
text
yeah.
everywhere. Everyone believed that gods descended from the skies, from the heavens. So those are built for them. Now, whether that was from an alien civilization that they were actually building them for, to direct them like, hey, we remember you. This is I know where you're from Orion. These are your belt stars. This is why we build them here. Or whether it's, these are the stars that we consider holy. Let's align our pyramids in this fashion to pay tribute to them, so that way when they come down, they'll see this.
Well, here's the other thing, too, is the internal workings of the pyramids are a mystery as well. Like the shafts and the passageways.
A lot of those shafts actually line up with solstices and other things as well.
And we don't understand what all that does. Exactly. A lot of people think it might have done something at one point.
A lot of people think they're batteries, that they're charging ports for spaceships. If you listen to,
that's definitely not the case, but ancient aliens, yeah, that's definitely. But I mean, it's definitely. I think now there are other interesting things, like when you go to Machu Picchu and you find the perfectly carved stones out of stone that can only be cut by a diamond-tipped saw or blade. So that's pretty interesting, but not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's outside the realm of human possibility. Like, I just think humans were a lot more advanced a lot earlier than the current mainstream geological people
and
say.
Stones that can be cut by a diamond tip, something or other, can be worn over periods of time into the shape that you want them to be in.
That too.
By other means.
Yeah.
If you rub something long enough, it will be that shape.
And the fact that these pyramids weren't built by slaves. That's a big one too. That means this was a voluntary effort.
Better than Trump's America.
Oh my God.
Well,
but it's a voluntary...
We don't talk politics on this.
I mean, we can if you want, but
no, it's fine.
It's not fun.
Yeah. I asked for change 10 years ago. Didn't get it.
But the what was I saying? Fuck, I lost it. God damn it.
I'm good at that.
I just think that there were many, like, or one really large, really far-reaching, really advanced civilization at one point in time that got annihilated by natural disasters. And
that we have no evidence of?
We do have evidence. It's just not fucking... The mainstream shit doesn't look at it. Like, every fucking day they're finding, like, mummified remains or fucking tools that date back hundreds of thousands of years before we should have been able to make tools according to the mainstream, blah, 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 blah.
Thousands of years. We haven't gone about hundreds of thousands of years past.
I don't know. But you get my point. Like, they find that shit... fucking Machu Picchu, like, is an anomaly. Like, I think, like, parts of it... First of all, only, like, 15% of it has been uncovered. So we don't fully understand the vastness of it, A. And B, I'm pretty sure parts of it were created before the current geological timeline for the humans and tools and building things allows. So, that kind of stuff, that's real fucking evidence. That's hard evidence.
Just says that when humans come together, they can achieve unimaginable things.
Oh, and I think they did at one point.
Not necessarily one. So if we take outrageous ancient alien theories out of the question, where there's not some other civilization from another planet that came over here and said, "Hey man, we know that you can do this. Why don't you go build some of this shit? This is how you do this. This is how you do that." If we take that all out, there's not one human civilization that was massively advanced that can be attributed to all of these different things.
That we know of.
Even the more that we learn about it, there's not going to be one thing that died out.
There could have been something big enough, though, to where it was the biggest thing in history at that point, and it mostly died. The few that survived carried on a few of those things to future civilizations. Now, see, here's the thing. Is there was one point in time where we can point to in history, I can't remember if it was, I don't think it was a Genghis Khan. I think it was a disease. I think it was a disease that at one point...
That fucked everyone and made everyone almost related to each other?
No, that was Genghis Khan. But the disease, I think, brought down the human civilization. Every human on the whole planet that we know of somehow or whatever, there were a few thousand.
And
there were 5,000 people on the planet. No, it wasn't the Black Plague.
That was before that.
It wasn't the bubonic plague. It was something else. But there was some disease that brought us down to 5,000 people on the planet. Okay, first of all, so that's possible at certain points in history, first of all. And second of all, right now, if... You and I are very familiar with the potential of asteroid impacts and what they can do. We know things like if they land in the ocean, it's actually worse than them landing on land. And we know blast radiuses, and we know about nuclear winter it would cause, and all the other, it hits one side, all the natural disasters it's going to cause on the other side and things like that. Complete fucking carnage. If one was real big, though, Texas size, bigger than Texas size, it could bring the human population back down to, let's just say, 500 instead of 5,000. That asteroid hit this early civilization. And yeah, we wouldn't have fucking anything from them. We would just have the few memories that got passed on through generations from those 500 people. Right now, if an asteroid hit in 10,000 years, there wouldn't be much shit left. Mm-hmm. You might find the remnants of a building or two. You're not going to find any fucking cars. You're not going to find 99% of the shit. So, yeah, the idea that a super advanced human civilization existed at one point and got wiped out by a massive natural disaster, I think is completely plausible and would do a lot of explaining as to why we see pyramids pop up, the same structure in so many places, besides the fact that it's just the most sound structure in existence. Maybe they were all just oh, this thing will never fall down, we should build it like this. Common sense. Or it's tradition from ancient civilization, and we have very bits and pieces of evidence of at this point, and that's all that's left.
I understand what you're saying, but fundamentally I can't.
It's more plausible than a fucking alien.
I can't find. Yes, more plausible than an alien, but still less plausible than just humans are inventive and probably came up with very similar ideas across the entire world.
Well, that's
separately.
It's a
On
sound
their own.
structure. It's a sound structure. It'll never fall down.
That cannot supersede any of these other ideas in just their plausibility.
It sounds
there is a solid chance that humans were more advanced before they separated out across the world as hunter nomads. That they had more of an idea of what was going on, but because a larger and grown civilization, a larger group of people that worked together in a group like that would have left enough traces behind where eventually we'll find something of that and we'll know that. But those things that we're assuming that they passed down, we don't see evidences of those popping up in those later cultures until thousands and thousands of years after people would have diverged into different groups.
Well, maybe they just didn't have the numbers yet.
But then
because they still had to deal with disease and nuclear winter if it was an asteroid big enough.
But then you look at the groups of people that have gone here and gone here and gone here, where people over here have, for thousands of years, don't even know anymore that there were ever people over here.
Well, here's the other thing though is Native Americans talk about a massive ancient civilization that was here in North America, which would have been after the initial spreading out that you're describing. Not only that, we have evidence of a massive asteroid impact out west.
Yeah, but a lot of
people don't look at.
A lot of that could have just been pre-migrations of people.
Wouldn't that be? What do you mean? Wouldn't that be? I mean, it would be after they came here to North America, at least.
Yeah, but Native Americans came over in different sections.
Yeah,
and then
true.
The stories that they have and different tribes that are going to have those stories are going to talk about the original people that built up. Because we're talking about
that's true.
Spans of times like hundreds of years. How big can you grow Williamston 100 years from now?
Yeah.
Like if
you could grow it huge.
If we tried,
yeah,
as a lone group of non-related people, so that we can all fuck each other and make enough children. If we tried to continue and made a civilization in the middle of nowhere, we could make it pretty big.
Yeah.
And then 100 years later, just a couple hundred years later, more groups of people come over and say, well, shit, there's a massive group over here.
Yeah, but I'm talking
way more advanced than us because they've had time to not just do what we've been doing, because all that we've done is move from point A to point B. That's what the groups that have been traveling have done. They don't discover anything because all of their energies and efforts are involved in just moving. It's only when humans settle and have the ability to think about anything other than what they're doing. Basic survival. And you can implement on basic survival in those time periods, and that's what allows you to get to the point to be at least so self-sustaining that this is okay for us, where we can survive on what we have now to basically survive and begin to build up from there. And that's where other ideas are. That's the general idea right now. And all of those ideas can be built off of simply just that happening naturally.
Yeah.
But it doesn't require one massive civilization because the communication...
No, it doesn't.
The communication is where that breaks down.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a technologically advanced civilization that got wiped out that had cell phones that we have no proof of. Still.
Well, I mean...
That had a way to communicate intercontinentally.
No. But I think it is possible.
Or travel by land fast enough to deliver.
No, they wouldn't have probably had motors or things like that. But I think it is. Like, what about there was like in Iraq or something like that, they found an ancient like battery. Like they found something that dated back a long, long time ago that
Yep.
could be used as a power source for like a light bulb.
Yep. Have you ever seen someone power a light bulb
With a potato.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could have figured out something rudimentary like that.
So
You know.
think about a world where you have one job that probably takes you a few hours a day
Yeah, nothing to do.
and nothing to do.
Literally,
You-
except try to live and survive. Try to not die.
And then imagine, because humans have been around for at least 100,000 years.
At least, I think longer. But yeah,
Roughly about 100,000 years. And this only happened, the battery, we're talking like tens of thousands of years ago.
yeah,
BC is just a couple thousand years ago.
yeah,
All of this human history, this battery, is very recent in humanity. That
Yeah,
was still
yeah,
after
yeah.
civilizations had settled down, and we're baffled by the fact that they were able to come up with this. But at the end of the day, it was still just a settlement of people where some guy was just
inventive.
literally kind of creative and fucked around with some shit
Yeah,
and was like, hey,
look what I can do.
I made this spark when I made this happen. I was able to feel like some electricity from this. Let's see if I can make something out of that.
Yeah,
What they use the battery for,
I don't know.
we don't know.
I don't even know if they actually know it was used in that way. But
No.
I don't. Yeah, no, it doesn't require a fucking supermassive ancient civilization.
I've heard people even speculate that because it was essentially like an acid base around like a metal thing inside of
Let's do a quick Google search.
a ceramic pot.
Yeah, it was something
So
like that.
then the acid allows it to conduct electricity around it and functions much like a normal day battery.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people speculate that literally you could pour something into it and drink out of it, and because of the electrical charge, much like licking a 9-volt battery,
Yeah.
that maybe someone came up with the idea simply because they could feel that charge and thought it felt cool. So then they made a new way to drink wine.
Yeah. See, okay, the Baghdad battery. There we go.
Mhm.
Or Parthian battery is a set of 3 artifacts which were found together: a ceramic pot, a tube of copper, and a rod of iron. It was discovered in modern, oh my god, Khujut Rabu, Khujutrabu, Iraq, close to the metropolis of, oh my god, I can't even, Ctesiphon, the capital of Parthian and Sassanian empires, and it is considered to date from either of these periods. The Parthian Empire was 150 BC to 223 AD, and the Sassanian Empire was 224 to 650 AD. Its origins and purpose remain unclear, and further evidence is needed to explain its purpose. It was hypothesized by some research that the object functioned as a galvanic cell, possibly used for electroplating or some kind of electrotherapy, like you just said. But there is no gilded object known from this period. An alternative explanation is that it functioned as a storage vessel for sacred scrolls. Interesting.
So an alternative theory is that they put scrolls in it, and probably the charge on it they could feel, and that made it somewhat. that made them feel like what they were putting into it was more important. Because you could literally feel the significance of the container that it was in.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And it says that it can generate less than 1 volt. So it's extremely.
It's a very weak battery.
Yeah. It's not powering your iPhone, that's for damn sure.
Like I said, have you ever lit a 9-volt battery? It doesn't
Right.
hurt.
Right.
Imagine 1/9 of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, interesting. But
Humans are more advanced than we gave them credit for.
Yeah, that's my point. That's what I think. I think that if you are looking at examples of ancient past, if you're looking for aliens in examples of ancient past, you don't need it. I don't think you need that explanation. I think
I don't.
You can have humans. It's fine.
But I don't rule it out as a non-possibility either, because I see the possibility for another civilization from another planet with technology that even now we don't have the ability to comprehend, to have made that journey, to have found us through one way or another.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is. I'm not saying it's not
possible.
possible.
It's possible.
I just don't like the odds.
It's possible that literally humans evolved. A plague wiped out all but 5,000 of us, which actually probably gave us the leg up over the Neanderthals, which allowed us to wipe them out over time with breeding with the remaining few of them, and then, killing the rest. And then we just developed separately as different cultures after we spread out as hunters and nomads throughout the entire world into the Americas. And then we, over time, all independently moved from being hunter-gatherers to actually setting up permanent camps and civilizations, and then began to grow from there, and then forgot about our roots and ancestors of wandering around.
Yeah. Well, one interesting kind of side note. Have you heard of this? Have you heard about the Dark Overlords? It's a hacking group, like anonymous it's a hack. That's the only thing they have in common, as far as I can tell, is they're both hacking groups.
Nope.
You haven't heard of the Dark Overlords? Okay. So apparently, I saw this pop up yesterday on Facebook from one of the some conspiracy theory thing posted it, and I just kept scrolling. But then Preston sends it to me from Forbes.com, and fairly legitimate sources, you know what I mean? So people are reporting on this. It's enough to report on, at least.
Or they hacked Forbes.
Or they hacked Forbes, yeah. Apparently it's a hacking group who has a list of demands that, if they are not met, they are going to release documents that they hacked that apparently involve they say they have 9/11 documents, super classified documents. My bad. That's all they've said. Whatever that means, whatever. And apparently they also have. Okay, so this is what Preston sent me yesterday. Dude, in another post, they said they have UFO info. They said that Edward Snowden leaks were a 5 point. If the Edward Snowden leaks were a 5.5, their 9/11 stuff is a 7.5, and the UFO stuff is a 10. So if they release these documents and have something interesting to say, I don't know. But it's just, man, I don't know. I don't know. It's so fucking crazy. On the one hand, maybe there's a lot of weird shit that goes on. There's a lot of weird, and there's a lot of super duper shady fucking shit that goes the fuck on.
Like people committing suicide with 2 shots in the back of the head.
Right. And if you, there's no way you can just look at this and take it on the chin and not go oh, what the fuck is going on here? Like, there's something going on here.
No, they're probably right. That was a suicide.
There's a lot of real weird, funky shit that goes on.
My cousin shot himself in the back of the head 2 times. He lived, though.
Right. But on the other hand, when you understand the intricacies of science itself and like what we actually have an understanding of, and hey, how little of things we actually have an understanding of, and how not having evidence of something is not evidence in support of something else, and not forgetting that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And when you look at how even in government science is done, like, it's not a bunch of fucking the scientists aren't sworn to fucking secrecy. It's that if a scientist discovers something, they want to tell the fucking world about it. That's why the person is a scientist, to discover extraordinary things and tell people about it.
So then
That's
what
the
kind of
purpose.
information do they actually have?
Well, based on the things, the podcasts, the people I've listened to, the people in the professions, the ones that have been involved in government projects, it's basically the scientists do the work, and if the government is funding it, then they have unlimited access to whatever information the scientists have.
Mhm.
So the scientists could be working on this thing that makes cell phones do this or that. The government paid for that scientist to do that work, so they have access to it because they know or think that the person discovering this thing about cell phones will also give them the ability to do this other thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how it works.
If I can make a cell phone blow up on command,
sure,
then
or just communicate better.
Then I can make these small robots into nuclear bombs and send them into combat.
Or I can have better communication with my guy out in the boat and up in the plane and on the land.
Oh yeah, that's less violent.
But this is just an example. Like,
yeah,
that's how it's
I was
fucking
looking
working.
For a violent example.
These aren't scientists in deep underground bunkers. Like, maybe that happens. I don't know, but it certainly doesn't really seem like it.
But then it makes you think a lot of the UFO information that they have is probably related to not actually alien UFOs, but unidentified. What UFOs actually are unidentified flying objects, which are probably military test issues with technology that they haven't released to us that they have and are using currently, and those are going to be mind-boggling.
Yes. And they should. I hope so. I certainly hope that the people in charge of our safety as a country fucking has secret technology that can fucking ensure our safety. That's fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? I'm good with that. I'm perfectly fine with them working on new super stealth planes that can go and maneuver in crazy ways and stuff like that. No issue with that at all. But
if they have like video of the bombs being implanted in the Twin Towers, then you're going to be thrilled about that.
Well, no, that's
like just some guy
that'd be fucked
on fucking YouTube, just like,
well, that's a very different thing.
Look at all this C4, man.
That's a very different thing. And I think I don't know, but what in the context of me and Preston's conversation, at least, I think the big stuff they had may have had more to do with Building 7. But, yeah. What's that look?
What's Building 7?
Oh, shut the fuck up. Are you serious? You don't know what Building 7? It's the third trade center that fell that day. You didn't know another building fell?
I knew another building fell.
Yeah, another building fell. Nothing hit it. No one knows why it fell. It wasn't close enough to no other buildings fell that were way closer to the Twin Towers, so that wasn't the cause. The video was textbook controlled demolition, and no explanation has ever been given. The official explanation is, it just fell. Whoops. Like,
reconstructure.
And it was also, and something crucial was going on in the building or something. There was some reason. There was motive to make it fall. Just like the fucking part of the Pentagon, the only part of the Pentagon that got blown up by a plane when it was probably a fucking missile was fucking had like fuck, god damn, it's been so long since I've looked at this shit, but it like had like crucial information or something that got destroyed. And then wait, it was like the day before 9/11. Yeah, the day before 9/11, they announced on the news that like trillions and trillions of dollars, this is 2001. Back then, trillions was a number that didn't get thrown around that much. Fucking trillions of dollars were just missing, vanished. Nobody had any explanation from the Pentagon, from our government. Nobody fucking knew where all this fucking money went. There was some audit and it came up with that or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't fully remember. I was 9, or 10.
Yeah, I don't remember where I put it.
But the next day,
That
that's
section of
the
the
part of the
building.
Pentagon that would have had that information or something like that happened to get fucking blown up.
No, we had computers by then. Someone had a backup somewhere else.
Not on super top secret shit, man. I don't know.
We're in middle school.
We're talking about 2001.
We
had a Mac that was different colors.
They gave a bunch of 13-year-olds computers in a computer lab.
In school?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't give them to us. They sat us down and told us how to type.
Yeah, but they had a computer for each of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you hear what Elon Musk just did?
What do you think the government had at the same time that they let every middle schooler sit down and we were able to get online? We were able to do things.
But
on computers as...
Hold on, though. Hold on. No, that's not what we're talking about.
What I'm talking about is that building that had the only information. There was backup at that point in the government and how they functioned. It was not on just some paper. It was not on just one computer.
We're also arguing based on my fucked up memory. I don't even know that that's what the motive, like, okay, I don't know what the goal was. I can't remember. I know it had something to do with that, but I don't know if it were documents or information or maybe a person. I don't remember the guy that started the investigation. I don't know. I don't fucking remember. It's been a long time since I looked at all this shit. But
if it was information, 100% it was backed up somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they still have it. And
well, that's what these guys maybe are fucking about to leak. Who knows? Dark Overlords. Who knows?
I found your trillions of dollars.
Found it.
Is
there a finder's fee? Yeah. I mean, in reality, it's probably just black ops shit of super secret planes and bullshit like that. Like, who the fuck knows? I don't know. Fucking crazy, though. Like, there's definitely crazy shit that goes on that's weird. I'm not discounting any of that. And I also don't believe dick that I hear on the news, but I also
What's wrong with Richard?
I also don't think that necessarily confirm, like, just because that stuff isn't real to me also doesn't inherently mean that there's a fucking Illuminati and there's aliens and reptiles and Hillary Clinton's a fucking reptile and fucking all this and that.
Well, I mean, like, we do have to be, like, realistic and objective here. Like, Hillary Clinton is obviously a reptile.
I mean,
from a different planet.
Then, there's probably a lot of them that are if she is, right?
She is cold-blooded.
All of them are.
No. Not like that. Like, she's physically cold-blooded. Like, she's a cold-blooded creature.
She needs to sit under a heat lamp sometimes.
She will hibernate if she gets too cold.
Well, what about Dick Cheney? He literally doesn't even have a pulse at one point in time.
Zombie. high-functioning zombie.
So Dick Cheney's a high-functioning zombie.
Yep, he
Hillary
is actually
Clinton's
the
a
cause of
lizard.
the outbreak when it happens.
Hillary Clinton's a lizard.
Yep.
What is GW Jr.?
George W. Bush?
Yeah.
He's just a straight-up guy.
He's just...
Like, that's just what we got. We, as America, elected that guy.
Terrorizers. They're coming to get you.
You know what he must be thinking right now?
I know exactly what he's thinking right now. Will Ferrell did a bit after Trump got elected.
Y'all thought I was bad.
No, he walks out on a fucking stage in front of a crowd of people holding a drink and smoking a cigarette. Lets the crowd go wild. Walks up to the microphone and goes, "Not so bad now, am I?" And then his next line is, "History has been a lot kinder to me than a lot of you thought it would be."
You know,
That's what I miss about George W. Bush is Will Ferrell doing George W. Bush every week on Saturday Night Live.
you know,
So fucking funny.
people may not have agreed with everything that he did, but he was actually a
No.
he was a president.
He was a president.
Like-
That is an accurate statement. Yes.
He had
What?
more qualifications
Oh.
than the current
Yeah.
president.
Yeah. On paper?
I mean,
Yeah.
outside of his C's from college.
I mean, on paper, he was... If the requirements for being president were... Do they exist?
Yeah, you have to be a former president's son or important.
Well, no, I mean, like, apparently you don't have to have ever held office.
No.
Like, all you really have to do is be a certain age and have enough money to run.
Yeah.
Those are the requirements?
Yeah. Anyone with enough money can be president.
So,
That's what Trump tried to prove.
that's what he did prove.
Obama made fun of him, and he said,
I'm one thing you'll never be.
"Oh, fuck that." He threw all of his money at, all right, you want to play?
Let's play. I don't. Well, okay, no. Back to where I was going though. If Dick Cheney is a zombie, Hillary Clinton's a lizard,
Obviously.
then and George W. Bush is just what we got.
George W. Bush is just an average guy.
Average guy. Okay, what's Obama?
He's actually a superhero in disguise.
What about Joe Biden? Wasn't that Obama's? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Joe Biden?
Sidekick, obviously.
Okay. And the big one. Who's Trump? What's Trump?
We're still waiting to find out.
We're still waiting to find. We don't know yet.
We have no idea
Well,
what Trump actually is.
What was Clinton? Bill.
Bill?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to go with the obvious answer.
Did you
here.
see Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
He was a sexy lizard
Oh, he's a lizard too?
that played the saxophone.
Oh. Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Yeah.
Do you remember oh, you didn't see it?
No, I've seen it. I just
Remember
don't.
Star-Lord's dad?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell? How
Yeah.
he was like a god?
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were going to say. It was like a sex machine god. Or Satchel from Steel Panther.
I mean, obviously he's married to a lizard. He might not be a lizard, though, because he tried to cheat on that lizard successfully.
That we know of one time.
He might still be. Man, she was unattractive.
Oh my god. Anyway,
choices, man.
I
Like,
don't have to.
he's the leader of the free world, and he
What?
picked, and he picked a 4.
Oh, you're talking about from his.
Monica
Oh.
Lewinsky.
Oh. I mean, hey.
If
You're
I'm,
into what you into. To him, she might be a 10, bro. You don't fucking know. Why are you judging?
if I'm getting caught getting blown in the Oval Office, it's not gonna be a 4.
By your standards, you don't know what his standards are.
My standards are the same as anybody's.
No, you and I have different standards.
We all know what a 10 is. If a 10 walked through the door, if a true 10 walked through the door,
I don't know.
everybody
Because here's what
everybody in the room knows a 10 when a 10 walks in.
Maybe. Sure. Fine. But
Fine.
I could see someone that is a 10 and
Fine.
you disagree. Right?
Nope.
Right? Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
100%.
Not at all. 10s are 10s.
No.
Dime is a dime.
I think it's a matter of perspective. That's what I think. I think it's a matter of perspective.
No.
You and I like different.
If we
we have
disagree,
very different
if we disagree, she's obviously not a 10.
Oh no.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
You're looking at a 9.
No.
A 9 in your book. 9.
No, she would be a 10 in my book. She
9
might be a 4 in yours.
A 9 in your book is probably like 6 in my book. But a true 10 walks in. Everybody. It's not about me. It's not about you. You can turn to everyone in the group, and everyone will say that's a 10. I had this experience tonight at Meat Southern Barbecue
in Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, we watched someone walk out, and she stopped real quick up front,
but
grabbed a toothpick, offered the toothpick to somebody else that she was with. She was like, "Do you want a toothpick?" And literally, conversation stopped. That was a 10. All 6 of us agreed in that moment. 10. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I don't feel that. I don't agree. I think it's a matter of perspective. And I think that it's entirely possible that if I were sitting at that table, I would have flat disagreed. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just saying. You and I have different tastes in what we find attractive. And I've tried to figure that out. Why do we find what we find attractive? I've thought a lot about this. I haven't come to any conclusions. I've narrowed it down, I think, to basic shapes. I think certain people like certain shapes. And that's just it. I think that's part of it, at least.
I agree. There is definitely...
There's something to that thought, at least.
There's definitely a math to the shapes.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say that, and they've done studies on this, like, generally speaking, most people find certain shapes more attractive. Symmetry is considered more attractive. There is a science and a math to some degree on that.
Yeah, I know. I'm somewhat familiar with it. I just think it's interesting. Because there's no real explanation. It's probably a combination of many, many explanations. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Well,
Yep.
this ship has been rolling for a while. You ready to wrap this shit up?
Let's wrap her.
Let's wrap. You got nothing else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm tapped out. I'm lost right now.
Significantly lost. Good.
Lost in the dark.
That's what I want to hear. Holy shit, it's fucking late. I didn't know that.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere though.
Fantastic. All right, this is our first fucking episode of the year. first episode 2019, and we're gonna be coming in weekly, if not more, from here on out. Minimum weekly, hopefully more. We'll see how things go. We're gonna hit it hard in 2019, though. Check us out on Facebook, the Instagram. Very active on both. And yeah, that's about it. I don't.
That's it.
We got a new episode coming next week, but sitting here right now, I don't know who it'll be or what it'll be about, but it'll be something. We got something coming next week.
Always.
Hit it hard.
Hit it loud.
All right. Let's bring this to a close. Thank you, anyone who is still listening to this. Thank you. We love you all. Thank you for getting lost with us. And good night.
Good night.